Welcome back to my channel. With the increase in new immigrants coming into Canada, I think it's important for me to update one of my videos whereby I talked about 4 steps that new immigrants need to take note of when they land here in Canada. So I'll be talking about 5 things that you need to do in your first week of landing here in Canada. Number 1, I would say get your SIN. Your social insurance number is a very vital document that you need for you to be able to do most things here in Canada. It's a 9-digit number that helps you access government benefits as well as opening a bank account. You want to guard this SIN very well and do not release it to just anybody. It must be for work purposes or for your bank purposes and some other details that we're going to talk about. People here in Canada are looking for your SIN, and when they get this SIN, they can actually just take away your identity because of that SIN. They can access most of all the things that are benefits to you through that SIN. So you want to guard your SIN jealously so that you don't have anyone taking advantage of you through the SIN. And the SIN number is accessible to permanent residents, if you are a temporary resident, and also if you are a citizen here in Canada. You can access your SIN by going to Service Canada online, or you can walk into the Service Canada office. They are in major cities here in Canada. You can walk in there with proof of ID, proof of address, and also showing your status here in Canada. Then you'll be given your social insurance number and you'll be able to access all the benefits and amenities here in Canada. Also, during the tax filing season, you need your SIN, your SIN, to be able to file your tax here in Canada. In fact, I call the SIN a passport for every citizen or resident here in Canada, because without your SIN, you can really not do so much of government activities and some other things like working. You won't be able to get a job because you need to put in your SIN, and through that, your paycheck gets into your bank account. Everything about you is tied to your SIN here in Canada, and you must be able to provide that SIN when you are asked legitimately. Please don't give your SIN number to anyone that calls you over the phone pretending to be a government official asking for your SIN because you have perpetrated one offense or the other. These things happen during the tax seasons, and they want to find loopholes from people that are not guarded, and they will just give out their SIN without thinking twice. Those people fall prey of losing their hard-earned income from their bank account, or they also use their SIN to perpetrate evil in the society. You want to be careful. SIN is very important here in Canada, and like I said, it is a passport for you to be able to access so many things, and you don't want to lose it or give it out free of charge. Note that getting a SIN is free. There's no cost attached to you applying for a SIN, so get one immediately you land. That's one of the first steps that you need here as a new immigrant here in Canada. Next up, I will say that as new immigrants in Canada, the second thing you need to do is to open a bank account. I mentioned that you need your SIN to be able to open a bank account, and you need a bank account for you to be able to buy groceries, get your paycheck into your bank account, and do so many things that are associated with a bank. It is your right to open a bank account here in Canada. As you come in, know that you need to be able to have a place to keep that proof of funds or the money that you have brought here in Canada. You want to keep it safe and secure, and as well be able to use that account to buy things that you need for daily living. Getting a bank account is also important because you will be paying your bills through your bank account. Whether you have the online app or you have the mobile app, you need your bank account to be able to make this possible. But my advice for new immigrants would be to look out for banks that do not charge you an annual charge, because as you open a bank account and you have money put in there, you don't want money taken out. Nobody wants their monies deducted. That means it's important for you to look for banks that can also pay you a premium on your money that has been kept in the bank rather than take away from it. There are some banks that charge you annual fees, monthly fees. You don't want to go to those banks so that all the money that you have put in there do not go down the drain so fast and depleting by those fees that are being deducted every month. You want to go to some banks that would give you even a token of fees for the money that you have kept in their bank. There are some online banks. I use EQ Bank that also gives me value for my money. They have high interest rates and I use them. I have a link in my description. If you're interested, you can click the link. It's an affiliate link, so I will be getting paid if you open an account through that link. But it's a bank that gives you opportunity to keep your money and still get paid on it. You also want to use banks that will be able to give you credit cards, because you need credit cards to build your credit history. But I will warn that you need to be careful. Also window shop, ask questions, book appointment with banks, and be able to determine by yourself which bank is suitable for your particular needs. There are banks that you need for businesses, there are banks that you need for personal or everyday transactions. So you need to find out, go to these banks, book an appointment, and ask questions so you know what you actually require for your banking needs. That means if you apply for a credit card as a newcomer, you might be declined based on your credit history. You need a credit history to be able to help you get a credit card. But sometimes banks also give new immigrants a particular amount of credit card for them to continue to build their credit history. So you want to be mindful of all of this. You need a credit card. If you're coming from a country whereby you're used to buying or using your debit card to make purchases, listen up now. You need a credit card so that you can use for your transactions and then pay back. That way you're building credit history, and then it's going to help you in the long run when you want to approach the bank for a mortgage or you want some other facilities. If you're a business owner, these are histories that they will be able to see that you have been able to pay back on all that you have used in your credit card. So please get a credit card. From my own country, we're used to using debit cards. Debit card is actually alien to us, so it was difficult for us to even assimilate that. But over the time, we realize that it is also good for you. So please get a credit card when you're offered, but be careful how you spend it and guard it, because you don't want it to get lost, so that people don't also use that against you. Third on my list will be for you to get a SIM card and a mobile phone. You can use your existing mobile phone, whichever one you're bringing from your country, if it's compatible with Canada. But you'll be surprised that SIM cards are almost next to nothing, but mobile phones are expensive. And if you also look at data, which is really the golden thing here that you have to pay for, it is not cheap. Most mobile phone companies are actually selling data rather than selling more talk time or text time, or for you to be able to communicate with other people. So it's important for you to go for the best plan that works for you, because this is a monthly fee that you're going to be paying every time. Please go around and shop for the best cell phone plans that you will be able to pay for, because sometimes all these network providers plan the data is actually what the providers are selling to you. You'll be paying heavily for that. You can actually start with pay as you go. The network providers have plans like that, so that helps you determine what you really need for data or what you really need for talk time. And then you can decide to go for just calling without internet. If you have Wi-Fi at home, you can start with that. All of this for you to stabilize and understand what your bills will be looking like, so you don't want to jump into something and then feel overwhelmed by the bills that come every month. Please shop for the best provider. There are so many network providers out there. Ask questions and be able to know what is best for you, that you'll be able to afford on a monthly basis. Also look out for deals and promotions from these service providers, because they offer new immigrants these plans. Even for the banks, they offer you plans that will help you stay with them for the long haul. So be mindful and ask them questions. Are there deals going on? Are there plans that are available for new immigrants, so that you can catch in on that and be able to save some more money when you land? And of course, for you to get this set up, you need an ID. And for new immigrants, I know you probably have your COPR with you or some kind of ID that can help you get set up. One thing you must take note of here in Canada is that you need to book appointments for most of the services that you are looking for. For instance, I talked about the bank account, opening a bank account. You have to book an appointment with the bank before you move in there. You can't just go into the bank and say you want to open an account, especially when it's their busy times. They usually would have scheduled times for you to come visit them. So try and call them, go online, look for the nearest bank or the nearest utility company near you and give them a call to book an appointment for you to get set up. Next is that you need to register for your health insurance plan, and your provincial insurance has basic things that are associated with it. So you want to get registered. There's always a new immigrant information center in your city. Go there and let them help you to get started. Sometimes they give you the forms to fill, they guide you how to fill it and all of those things. You need your health card to be able to access these medical services, which is free. Some of them are free, not everything are covered under the health card, but you want to have those basic healthcare covered as new immigrants before you actually get employment or jobs that gives you coverage from your workplace. This is very important. When you apply for your health insurance, you will be given your health card, which will come in the mail in a few months, and you need this to be able to access your doctor, for you to be able to go get medical care and all that you need even for health insurance. So please make sure that these are part of the first steps of things that you apply for when you land here in Canada. When you have your health card, it's easier for you to be able to walk into the clinic if you have an emergency or you need to see a doctor. Your health card will be looked at every time because the government will be paying for the services that you incur due to visiting these hospitals. So please, you need to get this quickly. You can access so many services with your health card, whether emergency, you will need to walk into the clinic, you have dental needs or you have optical needs, other cares that you actually need, you can walk into the clinic and you'll be attended to. So your health card will be asked each time you go into the clinic. Note that you want to have this in place in case you fall sick, because you are eligible for health care 3 months when you land. So start the process immediately so that you'll be able to access your health benefits when you need it. You can apply for it online or by mail, and you can send it so that by the time your health card will be getting to you, you'll be able to access your health benefits. Try to visit your provincial website for you to be able to understand all that you need to know about your province, especially your health benefits. When you receive your health card, that's the time for you to go look for a clinic that is accepting walk-in patients. You can Google online for the nearest clinic to you, because you need a medical doctor that will be able to attend to all your medical needs within your province. I know we've talked about the doctor-patient ratio that is so alarming here in Canada, but if you have an emergency, you can always walk into a clinic to the emergency unit to be attended to. And if you also need any medical needs before you have a medical doctor assigned to you, always just go into a walk-in clinic and you'll be attended to. But it's important for you to have a medical doctor assigned to you so that he can be able to understand your medical history and be able to attend to you on a personal basis. The fourth thing that you need as new immigrants here in Canada in your first week of landing is that you need to apply for a driver's license. Yes, you can bring your driver's license from your home country, but you have about 3 months to be able to use that to drive here in Canada. There are different ways in which you can apply for a driver's license in different provinces, but here in Saskatchewan, you need to have a visual test done, and then you have to have an aptitude test done before you get your road test done. And these are cost implications to all of these tests, so be mindful of this. While you're also driving, you want to be careful to understand the signs, to understand how to make a stop and how to make a turn. All those things are important. Driving in Canada is of course different from the way you drive in your home country, so you need to understand how it is before you jump behind the wheels, so you don't get a ticket from the first day you land here in Canada. Be mindful that you need all the information that you require. You can go to SGI in Saskatchewan. Here we have the Saskatchewan government insurance that caters for all our drivers and insurance needs here in Saskatchewan, Canada. They will give you all the information that you need and when to schedule your driver's test. You also need to book ahead. Like I mentioned, you have to call ahead to be able to book a spot for when you have to get your visuals done, your aptitude test done, and then your road test. You need IDs for you to also be able to register for this, your driver's license or your health card if you have one, or if you have your COPR, for instance, you can use all of those, or your passport from your home country. You can also use that as an ID if you need to be able to show proof of ID. They require 2 pieces of ID here in Saskatchewan. I have a full and extensive video that I did on obtaining a driver's license here in Canada, and I'm going to link it up here so you go watch it. After you get your driver's license, you can use it as your basic ID for any particular service or thing that you want to do here in Canada, you can show it as a proof of ID and it will be acceptable. Please do not carry your passport around, do not carry your COPR around, do not carry your SIN around, because you don't want to lose that. You can always have your driver's license with you as a form of ID. If you lose your PR card, it will take you a long time before you get a new one. So you don't want to lose it. You don't want to carry it around. As soon as you have it, please keep it in a safe place or have a photocopy done. Then you can take that around if you really need it as a form of ID. But you want to always have your driver's license as your ID. I've been able to share with you 5 things that you need to do as new immigrants here in Canada. In fact, in your first week of landing. And this will help you in your journey to settling here in Canada. Do like, share and subscribe, and continue to follow my channel. See you in my next vlog. Bye guys.